Welcome, everyone, to the Racket Sports Association member benefits presentation. We welcome you in, whether you're a member already and looking to find out what we're doing currently in 2025 as this is being recorded, or if you are considering a membership, which we hope you do. I want to walk everybody through all the cool things that we are doing. So I'm going to start with just a hello. My name is Shaun Boyce. I'm not going to do my whole, hey, this is Shaun with the GoTennis podcast thing. But I will say welcome, and we have been really excited to add as many member benefits as possible, making as many good partnerships work, and bringing on new sponsors and taking this thing as far as it can go. So jumping right in, I want to get through this. I want everybody to see what's going on. I'm going to see if I can flip. There we go, page 2. So I want to start with what everybody is used to right now, which is our basic individual membership. This is what the GPTA did for 47 years. This still exists. It is for coaches, team members, staff. It is targeting professional networking. There is also a bulk purchasing concept there that we want to make sure everybody understands, is that we help you to find what you need as a member. Hang on one second. I need to bring something up that I forgot to have right now. So I need this. There we go. All right. So don't worry. I'll crop that out. It'll look great. So I am looking for the idea. I'm looking for my notes here to make sure that I've got everything up, and I did not set that up properly. So sorry about that. So also bulk purchasing. So in this case, we want to help you as a teaching professional or as a member in general. So you don't have to be a certified tennis coach to be a member of the American Racket Sports Association anymore. We still love our tennis coaches. It is at our core. But we also allow pickleball coaches and padel coaches and pro shop staff and facilities maintenance people. We want everybody who is even remotely associated with the Racket Sports Association, or with racket sports industry, excuse me, to be a part of this. And we want to make sure that we have something for everybody. Part of this individual membership is also the local, sectional, and national professional networking. As I said, what we also want to share is the GoTennis Pro membership, which I will get to in a later slide. We will talk about that further. We have preferred and wholesale pricing. We have Iver is here. He's going to talk to us in our Q&A today with YTEX strings as an example. It's a great vendor relationship example that we have. As an individual member, you have access to our online webinars where you can gain continuing education points at times, our in-person workshops, events. The main thing here now is you can raise your professional profile nationally, collaborate with us, collaborate with others, and we will bring you our stuff. I say I'll bring our stuff. That sounds ridiculous. We have assets. We have connections. We know the baseline vision people, the SwingVision people, the Tenabot guys. We know a lot of people in the industry. So if you're looking to do an event and you're an independent coach, you can call us up. Say, hey, Shaun, I got 20 people coming out to a drill. I'd love to do something cool. Why don't you bring that fast track thing out where people hit the balls in the net? You can keep going. We can help you specifically and support your events, whether it's social events, drills, big, small, whatever you're doing. If we can make it a little bit better, you can call us and we'll definitely be there. So the main point here is you no longer have to be a certified coach to be an individual member here. That's probably the biggest change, other than the fact that because of that, we can now bring in your pro shop staff. We have some awards, which I will bring up later, of pro shop staff of the year that you might want to do. We're even considering some other new awards that we will talk about going forward. I'm going to scroll forward to the vendor membership. I'm using YTEX here as an example. I appreciate Iver's support, and he's going to help us. What he gets as an example is he is considered a recognized member. So he has access to all of the member benefits the same way any individual member would. He can offer and does preferred pricing for our membership, promotion and advertising. He gets to promote one time if he wants to do an online event or in-person workshop. He can do that once a year, and he gets featured as well. We use them in this case. We use them because he can share his new products. He's available here to talk to us in a few minutes, and that's a great example there. You can also consider other options like the local Mexican restaurant, the local cupcake place that makes your cupcakes for your Thursday morning ladies Alta matches. This is a membership that brings in the local businesses that help us do what we do. And you get your one representative, as I said there. So as I scroll through to the facility membership, which is next, this is for facilities with multiple coaches. If you recognize the logo, the example I use here is Atlanta Country Club, because there are 3, maybe 4, sometimes 5 coaches at any one of these facilities. And these memberships include 5 complimentary memberships, the individual memberships. But the facility itself is considered the member. There is also one representative recognized as a member. Let's say your GM wants to come to something, or you want to use that for yourself as director of tennis. You become, as a facility, become preferred for location, a preferred location for our association events. You can host events. The uniqueness here is the facility, like I said, becomes a member. And like I said, maybe the GM wants to be a director, and this membership comes with the 5 individual memberships. I'm a little biased, but I think if there was something called Shaun's Country Club and I was a facility member of the American Racket Sports Association, I kind of think that sounds cool. But like I said, that's just a sounding thing. That's just me. And like I said, I'm a little biased about that. But there's a facility membership there. Let's say you're a director of a club and you want to support the organization, be a part of it, have some events there. 5 of your coaches actually get covered within that membership. Institutional. This membership is for larger entities, which often manage multiple facilities, and includes 10 individual memberships. We use UTA as an example here. I know they have a lot more than 10 individuals coaching for them, probably closer to 40 at any given time, and they manage anywhere from 10 to 15 locations at any given time. This one is great. This can raise your organization's profile. It improves your ability to hire talent, connect with other similar organizations, and significantly increase brand awareness, whether looking for national recognition, such as Invited, as an example, is a good organization that would probably look at an institutional membership. But locally, looking at UTA, maybe they're just looking at solidifying the local market. I think it's a no-brainer for larger entities and management companies. So this is a cool new concept, in my opinion. You, as an entity, get 4 features on the homepage per year. Our homepage, meaning the ARA page, you get one location recognized as a facility location. So if UTA picks their one location, they can do that. We can talk about adding others depending on how many you have. Like I said, Atlanta Athletic Club is a good example of this. Capital City Club are the 2 that have already come on board. And that's a great example, obviously, so is UTA. So those are the 4 specific memberships that we have. It used to just be individual, but now we have these different types of memberships where you and your entity can be a part of it. You can purchase multiple individual memberships with that. It's really a cool new feature that we're excited about. Now, jumping into everybody's big question, which is really just my big question that I assume everybody has, is the GoTennis Pro membership. This one we're excited about, and I'm going to bring on Bobby here in a minute. But this is really where it gets interesting, because especially for the independent pro and those looking to increase margins, which I expect is actually everybody, no matter what your revenue levels are. Tennis coaches didn't get into the business to get rich, and we feel that every day. Which is why there's often a side gig happening. So how many coaches are out there selling sunscreen or Mary Kay or looking for ways to donate more to our IRAs at the end of the year? And I'm going to run through some examples here, and then I'm going to call in Bobby, who's going to talk about his experience. But we have affiliate sales as opportunities. So if you're selling a bunch of pickleball paddles that you don't have access to, and maybe your serve doesn't carry it, or you don't have a relationship with Tennis Warehouse, we can help with that. We give you a code that says code Shaun, and you can send that in, send your people to our site, and we actually pay you a referral fee for that. There's the digital newsletter service. You can upgrade your client communication, enhance your side gig. As I say, you want to sell more sunscreen, we can help you with that. You can add your personal or business merchandise to our online collections, for increased sales. I would say Bull Shark Sports is a good example of this. Ben Hestley runs a multi-sport program for kids, mostly tennis and baseball, and he has hats and shirts and water bottles, and he sells that all through us. This can help you in a lot of different ways. The article publishing for continuing education. Some people going for their elite or their master, what do they call it? The master professional. Those kinds of things you need to get published, and we can help with that. Preferred pricing for promotional opportunities, getting on the podcast, coming to talk to us, video and other content, things like that. Definitely raising your professional profile, getting on the podcast, coming on our YouTube channel. All those things are actually really good for everybody. And then obviously personalized pricing for your merchandise. I'll use Bull Shark Sports again as an example. Ben buys his camp shirts for all the kids through us because we can get him good deals on that. Now, I brought in Bobby Schindler, who is, full disclosure, Bobby is a co-founder of GoTennis, but like the hair club guy, he is also a client. So in this case, he actually gets to unmute himself, and he's going to talk to us a second because, Bobby, I want everybody to hear your experience with using these GoTennis products.
Sure, and thanks, Shaun. This is something I'm excited about. Obviously, yes, as Shaun said, we've been trying to build this up, and the heart and the idea behind it is to help everybody's profile and to get us that opportunity to make some money when we're not on the court. We have a database, we have access, we have people that listen to what we recommend, and we're trying to facilitate and expedite ways that we can make money. There is a pro shop in Atlanta that offers a similar program, but I've been in the pro shop when my people have been in there buying, and I've witnessed that nobody asks to find out whether or not that, where that person came from. So even though in theory the program is wonderful, we're not reaping the benefit because the extra step isn't taken. So people can say, oh, well, this has been happening already. I think we're going to try to take it to a whole nother level, and we're going to have the ability to just access and say, oh, this person is bought from before. This is somebody who's associated with Windermere or Bobby or Shaun. Boom. We have them. They're going to get credit for bringing people to Go Tennis. And the good part, and the American Racket Sports Association, we just, through the podcast, through the things we do, we've just, as Shaun said, developed a lot of relationships, which just gives you opportunity to sell more products. I don't know who's seen the Fast Track Rebounder, the Tenabot. Hey, we're on the court 40 hours a week. I get it. Let us help you out in that capacity. We're out there. We're making these conversations, creating these relationships. Some of this stuff is really cool. And, we can bring it out. As Shaun said, we bring your event to another level. You're going to do a pre-Alta Ladies' Day type event. You can, we can help you get additional demo rackets. We can bring out some of these products. They want to be seen. Your members want to see what's going out. And again, it just enhances your profile when people look at it and say, man, this person has access to this stuff. This is pretty cool. Who were they? I think another thing that the whole entire ARA is trying to help is the idea of, we're all in the same boat. It's hard to scale in our business. There's a lot of us. I'm at Windermere. We're a strong two-person facility, and then I have a couple of really good friends, Kip Cobb, Greg Cash, Kevin Lucian, who've been in the industry for years, that all have other gigs and do other things, but come in, that's it's hard to rely on them because they have other things. So understandably, they're going to take care of themselves. But again, if we develop this and do this right and develop a community and a culture with the RA where we can help ourselves, we can enhance our drills, offer more. People like the energy created by having, as opposed to a drill with 12, a drill with 20. It makes everybody more money. Instead of making $70 or $80 an hour, that drill all of a sudden becomes $100 or $120 an hour. That's helping. Again, another big thing, help our standing within the community. Having been at White Columns Country Club, where tennis was the ugly stepsister to golf, I always feel like tennis needs that organization to represent them and to say, hey, this is what a tennis instructor does. This is the training they've undergone. These are the things they have access to. This is why they deserve your recognition and your support, not some guy who's got a hopper who charges $10 less, who's got no liability insurance and might not be there the next time you need him. So again, all this stuff, the good things that we've been doing a case study at Windermere for about the last year and a half, and it's working. Do I think, is anybody going to get rich? No. What I said to Shaun, and Shaun has mentioned it here, do I think we can make a nice contribution at the end of the year to an IRA or to a vacation so you can put more in your IRA? That would be where I would start in trying to say what is realistic. But I think these all can be accomplished. Just the little bit, again, the online registration. If you're an independent pro, or you don't have even at White Columns, we didn't have the infrastructure for tennis. We did camps last summer online, made T-shirts a part of it. People didn't hesitate for a moment to pay the extra price to get the T-shirt again. So it just incrementally increased my margins that much better. And then again, I think the biggest thing for all of us is the ability to communicate. And I don't know if Shaun has made available or where you could look at the newsletter that we create monthly for Windermere. But to me, I think that is, we're all looking for ways to stay in touch, make contact, find the right way to reach our membership and to get them trained where they're going to go to it. By doing it through the newsletter, it also allows you to promote your events, show the affiliate deals that we're offering, make you aware of, like in tennis that's coming to Atlanta. I'm not sure everybody knows what, there's a whole new entire professional league coming to Atlanta. Are you aware about it? Are you telling your people about it? These are all things that the advertising, the ability to advertise on the newsletter just enhances our profile, provides an easier form of communication, another form of communication, another way to get those impressions, to get people to the decision-making process quicker.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Bobby. It's a good list of things that you've done, and these are things that Bobby has actually used himself. So, like I said, I made my hair club guy joke, but Bobby is also a client. He uses these things, and his favorite, he tells me all the time, is the digital newsletter because he can promote registrations for his academy. His accounts receivable is nothing when you do this. I did this with my Tennis for Children program years ago, and there's just no accounts receivable anymore. Everybody has to have a card on file. We're kind of bringing the culture toward being able to do things more digitally and more efficiently. And in this case, Bobby's a good example of that because he can take the everything that he's doing, meaning he wants to sell his affiliates or he wants to sell, as an example, in his newsletter, he also puts his Windermere t-shirts and hats and those kinds of things in there for his clientele to see and potentially purchase, and he makes money from that. It's that extra side of things that we can help with, and that we run that through GoTennis. ARA is responsible for it, but GoTennis can handle the back end of it. So Bobby, I appreciate that testimonial. Yeah, testimonial. That's fantastic. All right, moving on. I am going to the awards banquet, which is getting out of the typical, we get deals here and we have extra savings here, it's savings there. In this case, the awards banquet at the end of the year. The focus here is we've added some new awards, and it's a great way to improve your resume, these awards. This is something I didn't realize until I got older and more mature in the industry. It's also national recognition. These awards are only scheduled to grow. We're adding new ones. There are some examples here: Pro Shop Manager of the Year, which you couldn't do previously because that person wasn't originally allowed to even to be a member because they weren't a certified coach. So this allows you as the member, the director of tennis or the head pro, to be able to recognize those that are around you. And like I said, the biggest difference here in 2025, we're not just handing awards to tennis coaches. We want to appreciate everybody in the racket sports industry. You want to show appreciation to someone, you can pull that off. Now, if you have an idea for an award, definitely let us know. Send me an email. We'll talk about it. We're always adding new awards. I'd like to do a Player of the Year award, which means we're going to have to come up with a tournament and actually have some coaches and members playing. I'm looking forward to doing some things like that in the future. Now, the awards banquet itself, in my opinion, and I've talked to others about this as well, this is worth the cost of your membership just for the dining experience, just for the end of the year party, as we say. You bring a spouse for another $30. So for a total of what, $105 with your $75 membership, you get a great meal, strong opportunity to meet other like-minded association members, and you might even win an award. So there's the fun part. We plan to invite our sponsors, partners, and vendors to attend this coming year. We want them to present and bring their best bribes. That's the other thing. By bribes, obviously, I mean donations that we can give away during the banquet. So it'll be something you don't want to miss. It really, really is something to be a part of that. And speaking of sponsors and partners, these are our current sponsors, and we have Tenabot, Alta, RMC, Reserve My Court, Net News Magazine. John Hanna helps us out with getting into the magazine. We write 2 articles per issue for the Net News Magazine, for Alta's magazine, that goes out to over 60,000, I think is the number, active tennis players. Signature Tennis, of course, every year, and these are the organizations that help us make the magic happen. Emmy at Alta, like I mentioned, Mike, thank you, Signature Tennis, Greg, Reserve My Court, Hytham, Tenabot, and of course, my ridiculously good-looking wife, Jovi, who allows me the use of her Pilates studio to do our little GoTennis podcast, which I very much appreciate. Now, so wrapping up, I wanted to remind everybody of the preferred and wholesale pricing, because this seems to be a popular one. I'm using YTEX as an example because I'm also going to ask Iver to talk for a second as we start our Q&A, because I'm going to start our Q&A with a question instead of an answer. As an example, YTEX strings. Through your ARA membership, you get 20% off your YTEX strings, or get automatically approved for a wholesale agreement as a member. This is the kind of thing we love. We love partners like this. We get to help Iver sell his strings, and we get to save some money as an industry, as coaches, as providers. We love this kind of situation. So like I said, I will bring in Iver in a minute to chat with us about that. And a big thank you from us at the American Racket Sports Association, formerly the GPTA, established in 1977. And I hope that soon enough, we won't have to mention the formerly. Everyone will know us for who we are now. But I want to say thank you and leave you with an invitation. Say, be our next guest on the Go Tennis podcast. It's a great way to raise your profile, and you get an automatic yes. If you call us up and say, hey, Shaun, I want to be a member, I'd love to be on the podcast, we say that automatically. So that being said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because that's the end of my presentation. I think I got that done in just over 10 minutes, so I'm feeling good about that. And I want to invite Iver to speak quickly because I want to ask him a question on how excited are you? And I'm going to say very excited to be a part of a partnership with the American Racket Sports Association. Iver.
Yes, Shaun, just to, okay, I just want to make sure, can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, no, just to first of all, thank you for you and Bobby for the great presentation there. And to answer your question, we are super excited because this is right way the gateway that we wanted to approach, helping stringers, helping coaches out there, to have access to wholesale pricing without going through all the red tape and the hard way to get that. Now, we've been on the scene for, since 2012, with YTEX featuring on Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Express, and so forth and so on. Now, obviously, the bigger brands like Wilson, Selinko, Technify, and ones are out there. When we trying to get on the scene, we do it more from the ground upwards by going directly to the coaches, the stringers, and the players. Unlike, the bigger brands that sponsors, for example, you got the Alcaraz and Djokovic, all those big guys playing right now. Right now you won't see any one of them playing with a big YTEX stencil on their racket, hopefully anytime soon. So we are actually, what we've been doing from the beginning is helping the coaches, the stringers at the level where it's hard for them to have access to wholesale pricing to make it a lot easier. And when partnering with you guys specifically, as you explained, you have the section now where the coaches and so on do not have to be certified. Now, obviously, for us, with the members, the individual members, we automatically award like a 20% discount on all of our strings. Now, that includes obviously our apparel and our string accessories too, as well. Now, once coaches and stringers go into a little more the facility one, they can just send us an email and say, hey, we part of the ARA. And we would, I'm a stringer, I'm a coach, or whatever. There's a couple of questions. We just ask them to fill it up there, and just say, "Hey, we're a member of the, ARA. We would love to have access to your wholesale pricing, and we'll be more than happy to do that with this partnership we just created with you guys." And a big benefit as well is we make it where there's no wholesale. No minimum order quantities. Now that is a big thing because if you have accounts with some of the bigger brands, they normally say, well, you got to order at least 2 grand, 5 grand plus, and so on. So now, with all the coaches, if you have a stringing business, there's so many coaches we come across. They just buy their strings retail online, and they actually make profit just by their labors. Now, I don't know, every area is different, but if you make like $20 labor for stringing a racket, you as a teaching pro, I think you value your time a little bit more, and you want to make some profit from the strings that you buy as well. So on this way, you make a profit with the labor as well as the strings. And with our wholesale account, we also have a group page on Facebook, for YTEX, where a bunch of stringers, MRTs, beginner stringers, advanced stringers, and so on go. Like I mentioned, there you can interact with other stringers as well, but you can have um, below wholesale pricing when we offer like specials and promos. Like right now for the French Open, we'll do like an additional 20% discount. That's below wholesale. So you get a lot of people that actually take the advantage to stock up on some strings right now, for the future. And obviously we have throughout the year some other promos as well. So, and with us strings, the YTEX. Now I know a lot of coaches and stringers that have their preferred brands. We allow anybody to carry multiple brands because we want people to carry the strings that are the best for their customers. Remember when Tiger Woods, well, he is sponsored by Nike, and Nike told him, it's like, you don't have to play with our Nike driver if it's not the best driver. You can play with anyone, but we'll still sponsor you and pay you all those millions of dollars. So that's how confident they are in their driver that they actually offered for Tiger Woods. Now, the same with our product. If you look at the reviews on our site, we have over about 700 something reviews, and 96% of those reviews from our verified customers give YTEX, 5 out of 5 stars. So the strings itself is phenomenal. But a big advantage too, if you're just starting your stringing business or you're a coach, you string for other people, we have something for every level player. If they're a beginner that just plays with synthetic guts or multi-filaments and so on, we have that. But the important part, the majority of our strings are very soft copolys. Now, most of the brands out there, and also what the pros play with, they play with little stiffer polys. Now, this is where we come in. We specialize in those very soft, that's very easy on the arm, that helps those players protect and not get tennis elbow, so that we make that transitioning from a synthetic gut to the world of polys very smooth, very easy. So we have those go-to strings for every level player. So yeah, so they basically, we love partnering with you guys to help all these coaches, even if they're certified, non-certified, and so on, to make it a lot easier for them to get their hands on the strings. Because we know if you string for other people, you should be able to get rewarded for that with better pricing.
I like that a lot, Iver. I appreciate it. And anybody else, we'll kind of open it up to everybody. I know we don't have a huge group here today, but if anybody's got a question for me or Iver or even Bobby, Jonathan, if you do, if great. Anybody else? If not, that's okay, because just looking at the presentation and knowing there's not too much that isn't fairly well explained, I like to think, in the presentation. But also, Iver, I appreciate you explaining that you're as excited as we are about this kind of relationship, and we want more of these because we're really in it to help the industry and be able to create this connectivity. And as a networking entity, we are trying to create more connections. We're trying to make friends in the industry, so to speak, and learn as much as we can about everything that's happening, and not saying we're going to go with one over the other. The conversation I had with Iver in the beginning was also including that there's nothing exclusive that we plan on doing. So Wilson Racket Sports can't come in with a big check and just say we're gonna get rid of all the other players and write a check. We're gonna work with everybody, and that's the goal. That's the plan. And I appreciate everybody who joined us here today. It makes it a little bit more fun to not feel like I'm talking to myself into a recording, but we will get this recording out as well to the membership, to anybody who missed it in the beginning, and let everybody know what's going on. And I'll clean it up after the fact, make myself sound a lot better. But in this case, I appreciate everybody's time. Jonathan, thank you for being here. Bobby, of course, as always. Iver, Niam, and my lovely wife, of course. But thank you so much, everybody, and we'll catch you again next time. With that, we're out. See ya.